Knox post,
Yeah,
YouTuber Contrapoints has posted her full take.
Never seen it before.
And I'm just going to go through this. There's a lot. It's an effort post. So, many leftists feel betrayed because I haven't made a video on Palestine. Do they actually want a Contrapoints video on Palestine? Will they be happy if I get in the bath and pour milk on a mannequin of Benjamin Netanyahu? No. I have posted about Gaza occasionally and have quietly given money to Palestinian aid organizations. But I think that what leftists really want is for me to join their chorus of anger. They sense some hesitation on my part and are judging me very harshly on my presumed opinions. I'd rather be judged on my actual opinions. So here they are. Is Israel committing a genocide in Gaza? Yes. Do I oppose it? Yes. Do I feel angry about it? Yes. I also feel a lot of other things. I think if she had basically stopped it here, even here, this is like kind of silly. To be like, look, I'm a content creator. I talk about a litany of different issues. I've done all of this stuff. Is Israel doing a genocide in Gaza? Yes. Do I oppose it? Yes. Is Israel an apartheid state? Yes. Free Palestine. Boom. It's over. No controversy. Okay? No.
Well, but here's the thing though, okay? Even if she made a short statement like that, like you wanted, Hasan, I think that you would have said the opposite. I think that no matter what she posted, it would have never been good enough for you. That's the problem, right? Your group of people have already painted Contrapoints as someone who is like an enemy, right? Or whatever. I mean, she has faced cancellations from leftists like her entire career, basically, at this point, which is why she deletes tweets. But like, honestly, like, the thing is if she made a really short post saying, oh yeah, X, and then, oh yeah, and then Y, or whatever the fuck, right? Even if she did that, I just don't think it would have satisfied Hasan. I think he would have said, why don't you make this longer? You have so much to explain. Like, you have so much to, you have so much to say, right? Why was this so lazy? I think he would have said something like that. There's no shot he would be, he wouldn't be satisfied either way, right?
No issue whatsoever. Why is this issue being treated as though it is, it's annoying or it's inconveniencing? Like, why is this? Like, would we say this about the Holocaust? I mean, plenty of people, I'm sure, they didn't have the full knowledge of the Holocaust when it was happening. But I'm sure plenty of people, if they did, would have a similar opinion back then, right? But it's just so incredibly disingenuous. And what's frustrating about this entire thing, and I mentioned this before, and I repeated myself last night, and I know everyone was like, oh, is this about Contrapoints? It's like, it's not. It's not just about Contrapoints. This is for everyone.
Sure?
This statement is universal. So before I get to reading the rest of this, here's what my opinion is. Has not changed for the past 2 years at this point. If you are like me, a spoiled child of America, if you live in the heart of empire and your tax dollars are contributing to unlimited bloodshed in the global south, but especially in Palestine right now, especially in Gaza right now, and your focus after 20 months of live streamed Holocaust of men, women, and children in Gaza, the complete and utter annihilation, death and destruction in Gaza is still on your personal feelings, how you feel about it, how the personal hysterics that you have developed around this issue because of the takes that you see online. Okay, if you continue to center yourself and you are just like me, perhaps the most spoiled person on the planet, living in the United States of America automatically qualifies as the most privileged people on the planet.
Okay, so what I noticed some people like Hasan doing is that a lot of times, like, they will like to say, oh, I'm such a privileged person, in order to brag about themselves. That is what I discover, okay? Like, they will literally argue, yeah, that's right, I'm so privileged, guys. I recognize my privilege. They make the recognition, they make the self-recognition of privilege sound like introspection, when in reality, Hasan has like the least level of self-introspection there is, okay? And it's really hard to put into words because I think it's a really, really real thing. For example, I bet that the sons and daughters of CEOs and rich people would oftentimes say, "Yeah, I am born very privileged. I am born very this is why I care about leftist social values or I care about liberal social values." Well, no, that's not what it sounds like. It sounds like you're using that so-called introspection, that so-called checking your own privileges as a way to brag about the current wealth that you have now. That's what it sounds like, right? True introspection is private. It is something intrinsic. It's something where you reflect upon yourself and you want to become a better person after introspecting. Okay, it's internal. There should be a world out there where you recognize yourself as being privileged, but you never use it as a means to brag to other people, or you use it as a means to improve as a person. You don't want to appear so rich. You don't want to appear so like egotistical. You don't want to appear like a fuckboy. Like, then sure, that is character development, right? But this is not character development. This is bragging. It's humble bragging. Okay. Yes.
Anything beyond unconditional support to the Palestinian emancipatory movement, anything beyond unconditional support to the victims of genocide is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's been 20
words,
months.
yes.
We've all seen the death. We've all seen the destruction. Stop trying to rationalize away and stop trying to normalize this death and destruction. It's not normal. People recognize that it's not normal. And our institutions are seemingly immovable, and yet we still persist, and yet we still continue to push them with the hopes that we can enact some sort of positive change, hopefully one day get some semblance of justice. Speak for yourself. I had a horror show of a childhood. Man, shut up. Shut up. You're doing it right now. What I'm talking about is our birthplace. As a part of growing up in the United States of America, you are automatically luckier than a Palestinian child. This is ridiculous. It's not even a question. You would never say this about a Jewish child that was sent to Auschwitz. The only reason why you
What?
feel like you can say this is because something in your brain is stopping you from recognizing these people as human beings. That's it. That is at the heart of this controversy. If you try to intellectualize why Palestinians are suffering, if you do all of this instead of just like looking at this and seeing right from wrong, you're worse than like half of these conservatives, man. Half of these conservatives who are like genuinely ruthless people, incredibly selfish people. Like this is such a uniquely violent circumstance. We've never had an instance where like we have seen the Holocaust unfold in real time. That has never happened.
Oh my god. The Holocaust. God, this soy language is horrible, dude. Holy shit. You know, it's like seeing the Holocaust unfold in real time. Oh my god.
In the past, we've had glimpses of it, you know what I mean? Illegal
Give me a break.
incursions,
So
death,
cringe.
destruction, violence, but never to this degree and never in broad daylight in real time. But in any case, as I was saying, when all of this is unfolding and everyone is aware of it, if you're going to come out and be like, I was quiet for the past 20 months, but you know, now I have a statement and it's wishy-washy and it's both sides bullshit or focusing on like leftists online, then spare yourself.
You know what? I will say this, okay? I think that Contrapoints should have been even more against lefties, okay? When she came out against them, or whatever the fuck, when she was being critical. Yeah, I do actually think so. What the fuck? Like, dude, not even, like, she literally said she donates to Palestinian causes in private. Like she literally talks about this shit, and then, like, here you are, like, just being a douchebag. Like, what the fuck?
And everyone else to add.
Like, Contrapoints literally made the most milquetoast acceptable statement where she acknowledges the feelings of everyone, but Hasan is like, no, that's enough. You have to discredit, like, Jewish people's feelings too, right? If you remember, that's what she said.
And just keep quiet. Just stay quiet. There's no reason to just come out. There's no honor.
Hasan really just said, shut up, woman. I prefer it when women are quiet. Shut up, woman! Squad W. Okay.
In coming out like this to be like, here's why I didn't say anything. On the other side of this, if you want to know my opinion on this, and I've said it before, and I've said this about ICE protests as well, anti-ICE protests as well. I said this about people who want to fight back against the Trump administration now. If you get over yourself and you get over your own like moral hangups,
their movement demands perfect adherence. Yeah, like you have to fall in line, right? Like fuck. Like the three groups that are exactly like this is what? Jay Stoke and Queeman, right? The spicy chat crowd. Hasan, right? Hasan's crowd, and MAGA, right? These three crowds all share the same exact thing. Fall in line, fall in line, fall in line. If you don't fall in line, you're out of the movement, right? You're going to be completely ostracized, whatever. It's a cult, right? All three of them are like cult-like falling in line, right? You have to fall in line with the Nazis, okay? You know, that
or
kind
anything
of
like
shit.
that, and then you support the Palestinian emancipatory
don't fall in line,
movement,
you're
and
out.
that's it. And you say free Palestine. It don't matter what I said in the past. I'm here. I've learned my lessons. I've changed my mind. Or even if you just say, hey guys, I'm pro-Palestine. I've been pro-Palestine. I just haven't really spoken about it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. As soon as you do that, I'm with you. You know, I and many others in this movement will welcome you with open arms. They'll always do that because
No, they won't.
we need the numbers.
What the fuck? If you need the numbers, you would have accepted her statement.
Okay, there is no other way to fight back against this. This is the only way to do it, is to keep up the pressure. And you need more people from every different walk of life, from every different background.
This is so not true, dude. I cannot. What he is specifically what Hasan is specifically talking about here is if you come from a different cultural background and you are like a Hasan head, then yeah, you deserve to be in our movement. However, if you are someone who even slightly deviates from any belief that we have, you are a pro-Zionist, pro-Mossad. You know, you're under the influence, right? You cannot be saved. Fuck you and die. Okay, but yeah.
Regardless of what their other opinions are, if they're united on this issue and
And
they're
yeah, you're
protesting,
never perfect
then
enough,
they're good with
essentially.
me. And I've always maintained this position. But if they cynically say that they're, you know, pro-Palestine, only to just like...
Look, all I'm gonna say is that I've seen Wintermute argue in the Discord server, okay, against other lefties, and I'm just gonna say, unless again, if you don't have perfect adherence to their like principles and stuff, they will always find something wrong with you, okay? No, even if you agree with the same fucking lefty like book, philosophy, it doesn't matter. They'll nitpick some fucking like random ass like little random ass part of your ideology and go like, yeah, you know what, you don't adhere specific to my philosophy. This is all lefties, okay?
Try to fucking criticize the people who've been there.
But do you know what we do? You know what we do? We just go like, yeah, you know what? You agree with this policy? Base, let's go, okay? You agree with this policy? You're on board, baby.
For a very long time, only to go out of your way to just be like, I'm pro-Palestine. Okay, now that I've said it's a genocide, can we really talk about what really matters? My own feelings and how annoying the left is? Like, then you're just saying that as a talking point just so you can do this other shit. It's fucking insane. And everyone can see it. Like, what do you mean? What are you doing? Trying to carve out a little space for yourself and others like you who are, you know, they think it's a genocide, but no one should resist against it. They think it's a genocide, but no one should speak out against it. They think it's a genocide, but no one should protest against it. Like, what kind of position is this? Then you don't think it's a genocide, because in your framework, it doesn't. You don't believe it. You don't believe yourself. And the last point that I
This is even like this is like what he's doing right now is literally counterproductive to his own movement, right? Think about what he's doing. Like, why do you think this is counterproductive? Why do you think this is counterproductive? It's counterproductive because he is saying, oh, we welcome all the support that we need against genocide, so we can't accept this person who literally agrees that there is a genocide happening, who supports it monetarily, and doesn't want to be an asshole about it. If you truly do think that you need all the support you could against it, you're contradicting yourself, right? Hasan literally actively contradicts himself. So yeah, like, again, he's just the fuck. But you know what? This is behavior that is more consistent with a grifter, right? Fuck. Like, oh, this person is not good enough for me, so, you know, they're not good enough for anything. He didn't even say no one should speak out. He's just making sure. Also, again, I don't get this perception that what Contrapoints did was so egotistical, right? I don't, when I read Contrapoints text, I don't go, yeah, this is very egotistical. She only cares about herself. That's not true. What? Also, not only that, the fact that people were even asking for her opinion, yeah, you're kind of asking for her stance. It is in of itself a little bit selfish, right? In of itself, it's a little bit selfish because you're asking for her stance. So you're trying to pull a stance out of her, right?
I made was
Anyway.
most of the liberal Zionists that were screaming after October 7, that were demanding unconditional loyalty and support to the apartheid state. They either became psychotic Kahanists like Meyer Kahan, or they became anti-Zionists. Like there are examples of liberal Zionists that
Why the fuck? Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna restart. Actually, no. I think it's because I think it's because of it's 100% of my game settings. That's why. I think it's because I'm running on way too high. I need to do medium. Save. Whoa! Hey! I didn't click on that. I didn't click on that.
You see,
point that I made was most of the liberal Zionists that were screaming after October 7, that were demanding unconditional loyalty and support to the
Get more
apartheid
computer,
state.
true.
They either became psychotic Kahanists like Meyer Kahan, or they became anti-Zionists. Like there are examples of liberal Zionists that months after October 7 turned into anti-Zionists. Maybe initially they were like very passionate, very
There's a
upset
JStock Twitter crash out.
at Hamas,
rewind.
but since then they've realized that, yeah, objectively, what Israel is doing is a genocide. This is unconscionable. This is the evolution of Zionism, and they've recognized it on their own, and they've changed their minds. Or the last category is liberal Zionists who just stay quiet because they can read the room. There are examples of people that I have admired that, for example, I have a difference in opinion on with respect to Israel's apartheid.
Should I just like not play Path of Exile? Is that what? Should I just not play Path of Exile? Play old school RS. I am tempted to because it's the most friendly on the fucking
With respect to
is what.
the genocide that Israel is doing, who can't get themselves to say that this is Israel's problem. They say it's Benjamin Netanyahu's war. They say, Israel is a right-wing place, is a fascist place, but like also simultaneously seemingly make excuses, right? There are old liberal Zionists who I admire. Bernie Sanders is one of them. But Bernie Sanders, regardless of his difference in opinion on this issue, does not make this the singular force of his political convictions. He understands that there are people who are far more radical than he is, far more invested in the emancipation of Palestinians, and he never sits there and goes, "Fuck you for doing that." He doesn't do the cynical, "This is anti-Semitism. This is like extreme anti-Semitism. I don't agree with this." He doesn't do that. He doesn't get in the way. As a matter of fact, he endorses people that have a more radical position than he does. Yeah, Brad Lander is another example. When someone who has a disagreement with all that, who doesn't make that the focal point, the central point of their politics, and doesn't stand in opposition of those who have passed their framework and sees them as allies, then I have respect for them. I, on the other hand, have no respect for people who are, at this point especially, still both sidesing this shit. That's crazy, man. What are we doing? You can't try to punish people for being correct early and still present yourself in a progressive posture. It is ridiculous. So let's see.
Oh no, it's true. It is using up all my GPU. Wait, but the GPU is... So the GPU is using from OBS Studio? Oh, but then it's also using it from Camera Hub? Really? Oh, fuck me. Okay, that... It's not Path of Exile that's using it too much. It's OBS? Camera. Why is Camera Hub using so much? Should I just turn it off? Okay, I'm turning off Camera Hub. I'm turning off Camera Hub. I'm trying to see. Please tell me this is fixed. Unless Camera Hub uses it in the background? Ninja, what? Yo, this is crazy. Yo. What?
What she said. As I said, is Israel committing a genocide in Gaza? Yes. Do I oppose it? Yes. Do I feel angry about it? Yes.
Wait,
but I also feel a lot of other
I'm
things.
being bashed by birds.
No need to say any of this stuff, honestly. One, Doom. She also like presented this Reddit post like one of her videos, which is so crazy. Like with the paragraph titles and everything. The week after October 7, it was clear the mood among the Israeli leaders and civilians was overwhelmingly kill or be killed. Existential panic and unstoppable lust for revenge. It reminded me of the U.S. after
Oh great, the game just crashed. You know what?
9/11.
Fuck it.
There
I
was
never
no
wanted to
reasoning or
play.
protest-
I never wanted to play poop of excrement anyway.
Testing them out of it. Nor was it.
Okay. I would rather play
I, on
League
the other
of
hand,
Losers.
have no respect for people who are, at this point especially, still both sidesing this shit. That's crazy, man. What are we doing? You can't try to punish people for being correct early and still present yourself in a progressive posture. It is ridiculous. So let's see what she said. As I said, is Israel committing a genocide in Gaza? Yes. Do I oppose it? Yes. Do I feel angry about it? Yes. But I also feel a lot of other things. No need to say any of this stuff, honestly. One, Doom. She also like presented this Reddit post like one of her videos, which is so crazy. Like with the paragraph titles and everything. The week after October 7, it was clear the mood among the Israeli
What's wrong, dude? Yeah. Okay. Whatever, man. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is pretty corny. Okay, but it's funny. Okay.
Israeli leaders and civilians was
All right, Mr. No Fun Party Pooper.
overwhelmingly kill or be killed. Existential panic and unstoppable lust for revenge.
Score racing game.
It
Shut up.
reminded me of the U.S. after 9/11. There was no reasoning or protesting them out of it. Nor was it politically feasible for the U.S. to withdraw aid to Israel on a time frame that would make a difference. That's just objectively incorrect, and it makes me feel like she doesn't know enough about this issue. Because
How does my GTX 3060 not be able to handle Hasan fucking yapping and poop of excrement? Who the fuck programmed Path of Exile? I can run any game that has more graphics than fucking poop of excrement and run it at the same time as what? Who optimized this shit? Okay, you know
there's
whatever.
only two options here. Either she's
fine.
cynically misinforming people, or she just genuinely is oblivious to this
Okay.
reality. And I think
not
it's the second. The idea that well, they're just bloodthirsty. Not much we can do about it is one thing, which is also crazy. Like just because someone
It is overrated, and I don't think it's the most fun game ever. Okay, but the thing is, but the thing is that I like playing it when I'm doing stream. I don't play it in my fucking off stream time.
is a foreign
I don't.
entity,
Fuck
a
that
foreign
game. I'd rather
government
play Cyberpunk.
is experiencing bloodlust. Doesn't mean that we can't do we can't protest that. Is
Yeah,
nuts.
it's just so I
But
can do
beyond
something
that,
with my hands.
the notion that like it was not politically feasible for the U.S. to withdraw aid to Israel on a time frame that would make a difference is wrong. If that was the case, Biden would not have flown to Israel a week after October 7 and did the now known as the bear hug strategy with Benjamin Netanyahu, and then accelerated
The fuck is the bear hug strategy? Hasan?
$14 billion
What are you
in
yapping
weapons
about?
transfers to Israel with haste. It's just wrong. It is just wrong information. You are incorrect. I'm not even making a moral statement here. I'm saying you are wrong. 100%. Since October 7, America is responsible for 70% of all munitions that Israel has
You know what?
deployed
This is the
both on
superior
Gaza
game.
and
You'll
all
see.
munitions that have been deployed to defend Israel in their defense systems.
This is the
70%.
superior
The
game.
United
It just
States of
is.
America is the
You'll see
country
what I mean.
that keeps Israel as violent as it wants to be. Israel is our attack dog in the region. It is ridiculous. If Israel was not reliant on our endless support, both political cover at the UN,
14 votes in favor,
I'm in peace.
1 vote against. The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
The United States will never stop working to free all the hostages, including the remains of 4 Americans murdered by Hamas, who have now been held in squalid conditions for 607 days. They will not be left behind.
And on the international stage, and also, political cover from like sanctions that would broadly be sent to any other country that was doing this level of ethnic cleansing, this much in broad daylight with Western munitions. We give it political cover, we give it protection, but most importantly, we give it directly the weapons that they use on the Palestinians. If that wasn't the case, Israel would not have a multi-billion-dollar propaganda network that steadily focuses on changing Western societal attitudes towards Israel in a positive way all the time. They would not have this sophisticated web of influence in perpetuity since the inception of the state of Israel. It's ridiculous. Why are they spending all that money then? For fun? Of course not. They're spending it because they also have to. They recognize that propaganda is an absolute necessity for this continued support. And this continued support is an absolute must for Israel's continuation as a violent apartheid regime, one that is now doing genocide. So that's just objectively wrong. It would have required replacing most of Congress and overturning decades of bipartisan strategy and diplomacy. Bullshit. Even in the best case scenario, it would have taken years, so there was a sense of futility, but worse. 2, misery. The leftist pro-Palestine movement quickly decided that their primary goal was not merely opposition to the genocide, but opposition to Zionism in general. Yes, of course. The leftist anti-fascist movement quickly
I hope that you guys enjoyed Dark Souls Cat Edition, okay?
decided that their primary goal was not merely the opposition to the Holocaust, but it was actually opposition to Nazism in general. That is, opposition to the existence of Germany as an Aryan state. And here they decided to draw the line separating decent people from genocidal fascists, which had the following consequences. It shrunk the coalition. Zionist is a very broad category. Most Jews are Zionists. Anyone who supports a two-state solution is a Zionist. So here it is. Again, wrong. This is the Will Stancil tweet from October 8th, the Matt Iglesias tweet, and the Will Stancil tweet from like October 8, 2023, saying the left will never survive this. What has taken place on October 7 is so horrifyingly violent that the DSA is over. The left will never survive this. There will never be a coalition that cares about Palestine ever again. And as a matter of fact, anyone who supports this is supporting October 7, and therefore there will never be a left movement in this country ever again. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying almost 2 years ago. Look at the situation now. The Palestinian emancipatory movement has never had this much support in the United States of America. Ever. Also wrong. The notion...
Yeah, well, I mean, like, has it even... Here's the thing, again, like, people love pointing out the polls, right? But, like, the polls don't mean jack shit if you can't actually effectuate, like, real change with it, right? People can have a vague sense of what it feels like to be pro-Palestine, right? Even if I was asked a question on the street, and they were asking me, hey, are you pro-Palestine? I would probably say yes. What the fuck? I would even probably say yes, okay? Like, fuck it, right? But the thing is like, if you can't translate that into real change, there's literally no point in saying that, oh, you're being so successful by interpreting the fucking polls, okay? It pretty much, like, means fucking nothing, right? Like, that's the problem. Like, what exactly is the point of saying, yeah, we have more, like, support than anything else when you can't, like, define any policy, any kind of real tangible step to help out Palestinians ever? Like, there's no point. There's literally just no point, okay?
These people that were more knowledgeable on the issue of Palestine, on who was being oppressed and who was doing the oppression, and the ideological reasons for why Israel was doing this oppression, this exterminationist policy, as a direct consequence of Zionism being an ethno-religious supremacist ideology that revolves around the extermination of the indigenous population, the otherizing and the dehumanization of all Palestinians, Christian, Muslim alike, and all Arabs in general. The monolithization of all Arabs as a parasitic force is identical to the uber men.
I hate how like Hassan will always treat like the fucking pro-Palestinian issue more importantly than the current like forced deportation and the fucking secret policing that is going on with the Gestapo. That is literally like rounding up like thousands and thousands of Hispanics to deport them like as quietly and as swiftly as possible. Like it's actually unhinged. Like I'm sorry, okay? If your worry right now is about Palestinians only or primarily because you think that there's a genocide happening, good for you, fam, okay? Clearly you don't have any kind of immigrant friends, immigrant families, or associate of immigrants, or you grew up in a rich immigrant family that is like behind shielded doors or something like that, because people are terrified and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I promise you that telling the average Mexican like immigrant that's been like fucking forcibly deported out of here, all right, that yeah, there's a Palestinian genocide is just about the most useless thing you can ever tell them, all right? They want to know what their rights are, okay? They probably don't even speak English. Fuck you, dude.
Mentality of Nazi Germany. It is the same exact type of fascist policy making. It is the same exact type of fascist ideology. So for someone who has written extensively about the alt-right and the Nazis and whatnot, I am shocked at how someone like Contrapoints, who is very well read on this stuff, cannot put two and two together. It makes no sense. And it didn't shrink the coalition at all. So you're just objectively
does it
wrong
not make
about
sense?
that. When you look at the Democratic Party's base of support, I mean, the Harry Enten